We're here with Kenny Smith of Inside the NBA. His new book, Talk of Champions, Stories of the People Who Made Me, a memoir, comes out Tuesday, May 9th. We've got a shot for, an 8 seed right now to make the finals. What benefit does that have for this postseason entertainment?
At first, we would all look at the free agency and go, man, these guys keep trading teams. But the fact that they're trading teams, I think, is creating the level playing field everyone else is on now. And now there are legitimately 6 teams that say we can win it all. Without question, we have an opportunity to win it all. When the lack of movement at times by players, you could say, well, we're not going to be good for the next 3 years. But the free agencies allow teams to go, nope, we're good tomorrow. Right after the trade deadline, we're going to be good. And I think that was something that I was probably even myself a little apprehensive about, that now that I look at and go, man, there are multiple teams that have changed their dynamic in less than a year.
So, one of those players that his own personal career is kind of hanging in the balance. His situation with his team is pretty fascinating to me. James Harden in Philadelphia, he's been so feast or famine, while all this potential and the rumor mill of him, possibly going back to the Rockets is hanging over everything there. Is he not the most compelling player in this postseason? I know Devin Booker and Jimmy Butler are probably the 2 best cases for the best playoff performers, but to me, he might be the most interesting, right?
I would agree that Harden has the most compelling story from a fan point of view. I'm sure that he's not caught up into that. I need to prove it for the world, because most of the time, guys in his position have a higher expectation for themselves than we could ever have for them. Meaning, James could possibly win a championship this year. And he'll go, man, in game 5, I could have done this. He still wanted more. And so, I always find that guys in that position always want more for themselves than we ever could want for them. So to say that, but he does have the most interesting story as a fan.
Talk of Champions, Stories of the People Who Made Me, a memoir. What is in this book that you were proud enough to share with the masses? Is there particular detail, some anecdotes that you really want to highlight for our viewers?
For me, this book, it's a tell-all book, but it's about all the great things I learned from great people. And I wish I know that all at 20 years old, 25 years old. And so I wrote it. And in each chapter, it's not chapter 1, 2, 3. It's named after a specific person. So it's a Jordan chapter. There's a Dean Smith. There's a Charles Barkley. There's a Bill Russell. All of these great people. And then people in business, David Kohler, who's the plumbing family. Guy slept on my couch in the summers when we were in college. And then Guy Osiri, who manages Madonna and Sting. And, he slept on my couch when he was 18 for 45 days. And so that's what I wanted, people to feel great about themselves when they read the book, and kind of a self-help of wow, this is what makes champions. And I could be a champion in this area of my life.
That's Kenny Smith, author of Talk of Champions, Stories of the People Who Made Me, a memoir, publishing and out anywhere books are sold Tuesday, May 9th. Thank you, Kenny.
Thank you.